Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Sri Banerjee, Core Faculty for the College of Health Sciences and Public Policy at Walden University. And now I'm going to go over Risk Factor 2 and the 8 indicators which comprise Risk Factor 2. So Risk Factor 2, the summary is record of serious violations of international human rights and humanitarian law. So past or current serious violations of international human rights and humanitarian law, particularly if assuming an early pattern of conduct, including those amounting to atrocity crimes that have not been prevented, punished, or adequately addressed. This will create future violations. So let's look at the 8 indicators. Number 1, past or present serious restrictions to or violations of international human rights and humanitarian law, particularly if assuming an early pattern of conduct and if targeting protected groups, populations, or individuals. And then number 2 is past acts of genocide, crimes against humanity, war crimes, or their incitement. 2.3 is policy or practice of impunity for or tolerance of serious violations of international human rights and humanitarian law, of atrocity crimes, or of their incitement. Number 4 is inaction, reluctance, or refusal to use all possible means to stop planned, predictable, or ongoing serious violations of international human rights and humanitarian law, or likely atrocity crimes, or their incitement. Number 5 is continuation of support to groups accused of involvement in serious violations of international human rights and humanitarian law. And then number 6 is justification, biased accounts of denial of serious violations of international human rights or law. And then number 7 is politicization or absence of reconciliation or transitional justice processes following conflict. And then widespread mistrust in state institutions or among different groups as a result of impunity. So these are 8 indicators and societies that have a history of violence and violations of human rights. They're the ones in the future might have atrocity crimes in general and genocide in particular, preceding less widespread systematic serious violations. So these are violations of civil and political rights and severe restrictions to economic, social, and cultural rights. So I hope that this has provided you with some information about understanding Risk Factor 2, which is a record of serious violations of international human rights and humanitarian law. Thank you for listening.